Hey everybody, welcome back to the Heroclix History Channel. It's time to dig into another of those historic sets from yesteryear. Today we're going to talk about the DC set, the very first DC set, Hypertime, from September of 2002. Now this set, not only was it the first DC set, it had 155 pieces and all very much the same as what we talked about before. Now this set, when you think about what influences a set, you look at the current comics of the time, and even though it was an influence, it wasn't one that was right up to time, because this set was influenced by the Death of Superman, which came out in 1993. And I say that because the main arch enemies for this set were these two, Superman and, of course, Doomsday. And I found it very interesting that since you could get double points for one knocking out the other, it was certainly better to knock out Superman because he's worth 219 points. Double that, when Doomsday here was worth 174. So, just something cute. Had plenty of the same ideas for arch enemies. We got Batman and Joker with his fish. We've got the Flash and Gorilla Grodd. And for a couple of the uniques, also with the same colored theme here, so they counted as arch enemies, we have the Black Suit Superman from Death of Superman, and from another story that you might remember, we have the Kryptonite Glove Batman, who was looking to put Superman in his place at one point. We could think a little more on, I shouldn't mention Batman versus Superman, should I? Ooh, those movies that we cannot mention. In any case, the additional functions to these pieces was pretty much the same, but there were a few interesting points. For example, let's take a look at Arcane here. Arcane, who was the, not arch enemy, because I didn't get those bases, was the comic book enemy of Swamp Thing, has only ever been made in Heroclix once. Here he is. He's never been made again. I tried to look him up. Even on HC Realms, who does not sponsor us, by the way, but I'm going to mention them because that's where you can find the biggest lists of everything. He has never been made again. It would be nice to see a new Arcane, wouldn't it? Now, in addition to this, I also have, thanks to that package you saw us open, an original rulebook from Hypertime. It even says it right on the cover. And it tells you all about how the game was played way back when. Gives you the, a little bit of quick start and range, all those fun things. And I also have a PAC card. Now the fun thing about the early PAC cards, for one, they had the team abilities listed on the front. Don't get that on the PAC cards now. You have to go and dig those up, like whenever you need to know a team ability and what it does, if you're not sure. On the back was the checklist for the whole set. So for Hypertime, you could check on the back of a PAC card, and that was how you managed to keep track. Now, of course, they also put inserts in all the boosters at that time that also had checklists. This was a lot of paper, as you might imagine, because if you bought a case, you had one for every single booster because it was in the booster. Another interesting thing I should point out is they had stickers in all of them. Oh, yay, stickers! No, not like that. The stickers, and let me see if I can find one here that has a sticker on the bottom of it. Okay, well, he cut this one into a square, but they were little round stickers that you could put your initials on or something on that showed that was your piece. So if someone else played the same piece against you, all you had to do if you were confused is look at the bottom, where you put your initials on a little sticker. But they were round stickers. And apparently I don't have any of those on these right now. Ha! But there was something that they had in there that you could put on your pieces. So, favorite pieces. Let's take a look at that for a minute. The favorite piece of this set was none other than Nightwing. Nightwing, and I think it's more because his points fit very well, even as the rookie, was a solid outwitting piece. And at 42 points, he could get in there and do a pinch outwit and give somebody a nice glass jaw for knocking him off the table. He was definitely a favorite back then, and I remember quite a few combos that people used. An oddity of this set is the Flash. And the reason that I'm pointing that out is, if you look at it, he's not centered on the dial. I just found it an awkward and interesting thing that when they put him on there, he's off-center. And if you get any other copies of this, if you can find them, he's still, I mean, he's off-center. You would think they might have moved him over just a touch. But no, that's the way he was done on every one of his pieces. On every level. For that set. And I just found that to be, well, relatively amusing. Some other interesting pieces in there that you don't see this way now would be Brainiac here. Brainiac 13. Superman enemy. Very interesting. It looks more like a vintage knight in armor, but steel with his hammer. We've got Hawk and Dove in there, and Clayface, Riddler, Bane, Plastic Man. We didn't have Mr. Fantastic yet, but we got Plastic Man. So he was the first Stretcho to come into the game. Now, as I look this over, another thing that I wanted to bring up and just kind of bring into as I talk over these sets is, could they hold up today? Could these sets take on, say, newer sets and newer Supermans, or, you know, whichever characters, could they stand up to it? In my personal opinion, unless you're just rolling hot on those dice, not really. Not after they take a couple of hits. Let's have a look here. Superman, who starts with an 18 defense, drops to a 17 immediately, and then a 15. So, even having Impervious, he becomes really easy to hit. Their defenses just don't stack up to the way that they're put in games today. Though I have seen games where people mix them up and play around with it, and that's certainly fun to do. But they're certainly behind the times as far as some of the other powers are concerned. You can still do a lot with them, you can play full games, but if you're expecting them to take on the recent 300-point Doctor Doom, I wouldn't bet on it. Well, that is this set. 2002 Hypertime from Heroclix, and it's been an absolute joy to start bringing these to you. Is there something you want to know? Something you'd like to see? Put it in the comments. Make sure to hit the good old bell and subscribe, because subscribing to this channel gives you better dice rolls. That's not an official claim. Now, hope you keep rolling those boxcars. Share us with your friends, and we'll see you next time right here at the Heroclix History Channel.